Thank you very much for inviting me to give this talk. So I will talk about FAMOS, Forum for Arctic Modeling and Observational Synthesis, and I will talk about a bit about its goals, objectives, some previous history of FAMOS work and EUMIP work, and also will provide you with some information about ecosystem studies and 2015 project meeting plans. So this is a project website, and you can see here a lot of subfolders. So this here actually you can find all information about meeting, about forum participants. Right now we have a membership list of 267 people. We have data, we have list of publications, we have some CI outlooks, information about cruises, and also meeting registration. So the major goal is to focus on enhancing collaboration and coordination among Arctic marine and sea ice modelers, theoreticians, and people who do observations in the Arctic. And we work starting from generating hypotheses about most interesting things in the Arctic, which are related to sea ice, atmospheric conditions, ocean. We plan research, including both observations and modeling, and coordinate this. And also our major focus on the synthesis and among observations and modeling and among models, and also among observational results, which are focused on process studies or general climate issues. And FAMOS is motivated by and logical continuation of more than 10 years of the Arctic Ocean Model Intercomparison project. So we try to use basic disciplines to develop our models. We use data for simulation, forcing, and validation of our models. We collect and compare model results in order to reduce uncertainties, in order to understand and to estimate uncertainties of our simulations, recommendations, and predictions. And also we develop parameterizations for different processes in the Arctic Ocean, parameterizations in order to improve these models. So combination of all of this results in the improved models. And then by using these improved models, we can do diagnostics to study processes and also predict future Arctic Ocean and sea ice changes. So as I said, our objectives is basically to reduce uncertainties in model predictions, to support synthesis across observations and model results and observing systems, conduct collaboration with other similar projects. There are a lot of projects which compare models in practically all possible disciplines. And of course, one of the major activities are educational activities and dissemination of FAMOS results among larger community using discussions, coordinated modeling, and observational and field experiments. So this is some dynamics of FAMOS and previous EUMIP work. This diagram shows number of participants 1999, we had just 8 participants, and now in 2014, we had more than 120 participants at 2014 workshop. And these are people from different countries, institutions, and agencies. So blue bars show number of participants. Red bars, this is number of publications. We have impact factor, actually this is citation of our papers. And we have also, we show here by green bars, number of students attending UMIP and FAMOS schools. So you can see that basically 40 students is a saturation number. If we have more than 40 students, it's practically impossible to work with these people to do. Of course, we can larger number of people, but discussions among them will be reduced if we increase number of participants. Current famous coordinated experiments are Atlantic water circulation in the Arctic Ocean, understanding of freshwater changes, and explaining how it will be absorbed in the future. We have experiments to study the ice drift, ice region, and changing of ice-related processes. We investigate and model land-fast, and its land-fast ice, its generation and breakup. Significant attention is paid to ecosystem modeling, which we started in approximately 2008. And also, mostly recent studies were related to freshwater fluxes from Greenland and understanding of their influence on climate. We have some recent famous findings. This is basically we have worked in this direction to find these things, but we have used most recently very high and high resolution models. And it is clear that increase of resolution is one of the major directions for Arctic modeling, because it allows us to resolve eddies. Of course, we need nice, correct initial conditions for ocean, for model runs. Most of people use initial conditions from 1970s, but they are very different from what we observe now. And initial conditions actually have information about future, and if you use wrong initial conditions, your predictions will not be correct. Of course, it is important to take into account land-fast ice in the Arctic and simulate its changes in time. This ice actually covers more than 20% of the Arctic area in winter, so a lot of information, a lot of processes are going on under the land-fast ice. Tides, inertial motions also play important role in ice dynamics and deformations, and also have to be included in the models. And finally, this freshwater flux from Greenland is important and has to be included in the models for correct seasonal and longer climate predictions. Of course, I did not put it ecosystem studies, but of course they're important, but we are not at a point to provide recommendations for the entire community. We just doing our experiments to understand what is going on there and how to improve models. Based on these studies, FAMOS just completed submission of 42 papers to special journal Geophysical Research Ocean section, FAMOS, Results and Synthesis of Coordinated Experiments. And among these 42 papers, we have 5 ecosystem studies, mostly showing model results. And these papers are shown here on this page. And for example, paper by Lee and others is already accepted for publication, and you can find it at the Journal Geophysical Research website. So this is illustration of ecosystem studies. In addition to what we do with modeling and model experiments, we do some predictions. This is mostly like a game of outlooks of minimum sea ice extent. This is example for 2014. Colored lines, thin ones, show predictions or outlooks of different people made 1 year in advance for sea ice minimum extent in 2014. And you can see that this blue line shows mean prediction, and real distribution of sea ice was very close to this 2014 observed sea ice minimum. And regarding ecosystem modeling experiments, we have recognized this a long time ago. But in 2014 and 2015, through 2015, these experiments have focused on Arctic Ocean productivity. And, for example, in 2014, we had a school for young scientists where Paul Weissman presented lecture, Productivity of the Arctic Ocean Now and in the Future, as revealed by modeling. So this, you can see at this at web page, we have video files with these presentations and lectures, so everybody can easily reach these lectures, and this is part of educational activity, including ecosystem studies. For our 2014 meeting last year, we had 10 posters and 3 additional oral presentations about ecosystems and biogeochemical modeling. So usually during meeting we have a discussion group, and one of them is a group for ecosystem studies. Usually Ekaterina Popova from UK and Nadia Steiner from Canada lead this discussion. Excuse me. So our next meeting will be in November, from 3rd to 6th of November, here at Cape Cod. We will have 1 day school. It will be November 3rd. We have more than 40 students already registered. Their travel will be supported partially. Also, of course, we will have senior scientists and other meeting participants, but they are not allowed to participate in discussions in order to let students and lecturers discuss their own problems and questions. So this will be, other people will participate, like outside observers. This year we will have lectures discussing oceanic and sea ice conditions in Arctic marginal seas. And here you can see name of lecturers, and like Humphrey Mellon will talk about Canadian Arctic archipelago straits, Bob Picard about Chukchi Sea, and so on. Also, we'll have a special session about how to do outreach activities. And here you can see 3 presenters showing this model outreach examples which have been used by these people at different outreach events in their institutions, schools, and museums. Meeting will start on November 4th. In major meeting goal will be to report shortly about what was done since 2013, but we already have report which are 42 publications at Journal Geophysical Research, and then a lot of time will be dedicated to discussions of future directions of FAMOS research and how to improve our project and what has to be done to improve models more and more. So on November 4th, we will have discussions and presentations about sea ice studies, and also we'll have 1 minute, 1 slide poster presentations. Usually we have 70, 80 posters, so this takes more than 1 hour of 1 minute, 1 slide presentations. But this is important because everybody advertise his poster and results. This is a summary. On November 5th, we will discuss ocean and ecosystem studies, and also we'll have poster sessions. Posters will be displayed during entire meeting, and people usually spend a lot of time in private discussions. On November 6th, we will discuss future FAMOS themes, directions of research, focusing on sea ice predictability, ecosystems, subsea permafrost, Greenland ice melt, its role in freshwater and climate, ocean alkaline, and AD studies. So, and ecosystem presentations at this meeting will already have, I think, 11 or 10 presentations, at least titles and some abstracts. Very soon these abstracts will be available at the project website. So these are mostly modeling studies, but I hope that we have some time and more people will send us their presentation and will participate in this meeting. So finally, if you have questions, I will be happy to answer these questions, and I invite everybody to participate in this 4th FAMOS meeting in November. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Andrey. Are there any questions for Andrey regarding his presentation or related?
Hey, everybody, this is Jessica. We're getting some crackling sound, and I just wanted to see if you all could try to mute yourselves to see if that would fix it. Anybody who's not on mute, could you mute your phone? There's a lot of people not on mute right now. The crackling sound is really bad.
Yeah, I can hear it too. Andrey, I have a question. This is Guillermo.
Yes.
You have shown us a lot of research activities, and they seem to be well connected. So the question is, what are the coordinating mechanisms for all these research activities? Is the FAMOS annual meeting the main coordinating mechanism, or are there any other formal or informal ways of coordinating all these activities?
Yeah, this is a very important question. We do communicate, we used to communicate through small meetings using Skype, for example, but in this year we joined so-called Lifora Forum, and this is a publicly available software and web page where you can organize discussions of different groups. So instead of doing multi-email exchange of information, you can go to this forum and it's specifically organized for FAMOS community, and we have a list of these coordinated experiments, and each experiment at this web page is connected to members of this experiment. So they put questions, they discuss things, they can put figures, coordinate experiment, and prepare publications. So this mechanism actually allowed us to significantly enhance this coordination. Also, you know, we have this meeting where once per year where we discuss all these things. But groups, in most cases, work, this coordinated experiment teams work independently. And if they meet, they contact each other, and then I and Mike Steele try to coordinate their activities.
Thank you, Andrey. Are there any other questions for Andrey? Thank you so much, Andrey, and I will see you in November. Thank you for your time, and you're welcome to stay to attend the rest of this call if you wish so.
Okay, thank you very much.